What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is September 15th. It is Saturday. It is noon Pacific time. And it, of course, is time for the Daily Vlog Live. This is the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel where we try to cover basically daily VR news. That's pretty much what we're all about. VR gaming news, AR gaming news if it happens and it's a big deal. We cover the newest VR games that are coming out. We give first impressions. We look at trailers. And of course, we do feature chat. Chat is a really big part of it. We got Christian Jensen showing up. What is going on? We got Bed for You 2 and Game Cats showing up as well. T-Dub is in the building. VR Spry Guy. It is Saturday. It's kind of a relaxing situation today. Obviously, I'm on the West Coast. Now, if you are on the East Coast, if you're in the Carolinas, obviously our hearts and prayers go out to everybody that is dealing with torrential rainfall, floodwaters, just a lot of crazy stuff that is going on back east. It's really an unfortunate thing. I kind of feel like we're living in this modern era where weather is just going to be weird. It's going to be weird, man. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like we're in this era where weather is going to be weird, unpredictable, chaotic, and a lot of like natural disasters and stuff are going to pop off, and it's really unfortunate. But, you know, I don't know. It kind of seems to be the way of things. But basically, James Davis 911 is also here. He just woke up. Just barely crawled out of bed, so absolutely perfect timing for him. Chebby is here. And so what is the news? Is there news? And that's kind of the question. I don't think there's too much going on. I've looked around a little bit. I haven't seen very much. But one thing that we can talk about briefly here is we can talk about a pancake game. Let's talk about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, because apparently a lot of people are playing this in VR, but not in the kind of VR way that you would think, but more like it's a 3D game from back in the days. Remember, we talked about 3D gaming yesterday. We talked about 3D TVs. Let's go ahead and check out this trailer of a pancake game. I've never seen this trailer before. Let's check it out.
Held, but just ourselves and immortality. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than a day.
By taking the key, you set the apocalypse in motion. With this key and the silver box, we can remake the world.
I won't let that happen.
Catastrophes you're doing.
Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me.
Alrighty, become the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, available September 14th. Check this out, guys. I don't follow flat games. I don't know a damn thing about flat games. I don't know anything about pancake games. The only thing I know is I know about Fallout 76, slightly interested in that, although not really because it's not VR. And I know about Red Dead Redemption. But other than that, I don't pay any attention to flat games, but this is a big one apparently that has just come out recently. I thought we just had a Tomb Raider. Didn't we just have a Tomb Raider just a minute ago? But it seems like, okay, here's another Tomb Raider game, and a number of people are talking about this. They're talking about it on the Vive subreddit. They are saying that basically it has a 3D mode that you can activate somehow, and it's perfect 3D. So for example, like if you had a PlayStation 3 back in the days, you're playing some of these different 3D games, NVIDIA 3D, you know, all this different 3D stuff. Well, you can kind of enjoy this in that same kind of way. And with a VR headset and playing it in 3D, you're talking absolute perfect 3D, no crosstalk, everything looks really beautiful. So that's kind of what people are talking about here. And if we look in chat, Chris says, I played Tomb Raider in 3D, in VR, with big screen beta yesterday. It is amazing. So some people are saying, yeah, this is something to take a look at. Mame Fan says, that's a flat game I'll play. And T-Dub says, I enjoyed 1 and 2, and we'll pick this up when the price drops. And absolutely, we'll be talking about the price in just a second here. Bed for You Two and Game Cats, it's a female Uncharted, and that's pretty much what it is. It basically is a female Uncharted, and it does especially well, I think, on Xbox platforms, because the Uncharteds obviously don't come to Xbox. And the Jordan Complex is checking in. What is up? James Davis 911 says he played the first Tomb Raider in the series, enjoyed it a lot. And Noah is checking in. Are you back from Magic Leap? Or are you still in Florida, Noah? Don't know what's going on. Have you checked out some demos? You might be under all these NDAs and can't say anything at all, but curious how Noah is doing. Obviously, we certainly want your full report, Noah, and I'm going to have to figure out how to have guests and get that worked out. Oh, he got his leap. Damn, this kid has his Magic Leap 1. Noah, you know what you'd need to do is have somebody take a picture of you holding like your retail box, and then maybe having like your Magic Leap 1 on, and get us a picture of that, because that would be super cool. So he is in Florida. He has his Magic Leap 1. That is awesome. But yeah, what we're talking about here with Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a lot of people are playing it in this pseudo 3D mode. And so this is kind of in the news a little bit. And so he says he does have a picture. Okay, yeah, email it, man. Oh, it's on Twitter. Okay, I'll have to check sometime. But yeah, we'll have to check that out. But basically, Chris says, even though you play Tomb Raider on a virtual screen in VR, the immersion is so good it almost feels like a VR game. It feels like you are in the game. So is it kind of like a diorama? Like basically like when you play it in VR, do you have like this bit, it's like an aquarium, you know, is it like you're looking in an aquarium and the game is like taking place inside the aquarium almost because the 3D is so dialed in? I wonder if it's kind of like that. But what we can take a look at real quick here is this is the Steam page for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. You can see very positive reviews. This just came out. 60 buccarinos, 60 buccarinos, not for the faint of heart. And it doesn't really say anything about like HTC Vives or VR or anything like that. So we're not really seeing any kind of VR anything about it on the Steam page, but apparently there is some way to kind of get it into a 3D VR mode. So, you know, a lot of people interested in this. Now, I got to tell you, number one, I'm not that hyped on Tomb Raider. I'm sure it's pretty cool, but this scares me. $60 scares me. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a long time. When's the last time I've paid the full $59.99 banger for a game? And it was probably Fallout 4 VR, because I think when I bought Fallout 4 VR, I did not when I bought Fallout 4 VR, I didn't get it on any kind of discount. You know, there were some different discounts here and there, but I think I bought it kind of early and paid basically full price for Fallout 4 VR. And it was $59.99. You know, it was the full thing, the full deal here. But I've just gotten so used. You get accustomed to buying all these different VR games for $19.99, for $24.99, $29.99, and then every once in a blue moon, there's a really big VR game that is $39.99, and that seems like those old $59.99 games to me. When I see a game come out that's $39.99, I'm like, wow, that's full price. And then I forget that you can go all the way up to $60 on these games. I totally forget about that. But, you know, the production value is obviously there. Now, this is not designed to be in VR in the kind of way that we want it to be, but a lot of people are into this. It'd be cool if there was some kind of demo or something to kind of get a sample of what that looks like. I certainly would love to try a demo of it and just see how it looks in VR, basically. Now, Airman929565 says you can grab it for $45 on CD keys. And I don't know. I know CD keys, like I know technically it's legit, but I also know, oh wait, now he's saying sorry, wrong about that. So maybe you can't get it for $45 on CD keys. But I was going to go into a little rant real quick. I don't know anything about CD keys, to be honest with you. But what I will say is, I know there are these key sites where people get all these like free codes that they're not supposed to be sold. And then somehow they end up on these key sites, and that's where you see these great discounts. And the developers of the game are like pissed off about it. They feel like they've been scammed. And that's why it can be very difficult to get your hands on keys, because there's so many scamsters out there that try to get their hands on game keys and then they sell them to these services. You know, it can get shady. And I don't know a lot about it. I haven't followed a lot about it, but I do know that is out there. But yeah, man, I mean, this is 60 bones. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. They do have a bundle deal where you can get all kinds of Tomb Raiders for $90 if you buy that bundle. But yeah, definitely a full price banger. Airman929565 says it is $50 on CD keys. So he was off by $5. Not a very big deal. And Greg's VR is checking in as well. Okay, so do we have any other tidbits of news? We do have a new trailer for Virtua Virtual Fighting Championship. This is a launch trailer. I have not really been tracking this game. Let's go ahead and check out this trailer. We can talk about it right afterwards. Let's go ahead and check this out. All right, so that is September 22nd. So just when you thought September was going to be a crappy month. No, I'm just kidding. Not like this is another big game that's coming out here. But, you know, Virtual Fighting Championship, I mean, look at this video. We see all these people. They're basically boxing. You know, and actually it looks worse than boxing in terms of exercise. Like this if you want exercise, folks, this looks like it's exercise. Now, to me, when I look at this, I think, okay, I'm going to get all sweaty and stuff, and it's going to be kind of chaotic. And I just imagine it being like super chaotic. But I guess if you're looking for a workout in VR, you know, here it is. This is a workout in VR. It's absolutely going to be a workout, constantly throwing your fists and doing different things. It's kind of like a first-person Street Fighter game, I guess. I don't know if you have like special powered moves and things that you can do. You know, like a Soul Calibur / Street Fighter in first person. I guess that's what this is all about. Bed for You Too and GameCat says, sorry, but that game looks whacked. I believe he's talking about this Virtual Fighters Championship. Yeah, you know, the interesting thing about this particular game here is I'm about 99% sure that VR Roundtable got a key for this game. And Steve or Gary or somebody mentioned to me that VR Roundtable has a key for this game. So, you know, I could possibly try it out. And I just don't have any interest, man. I haven't even bothered like trying to download it or anything. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem to interest me right now, which I know that's kind of lame. Let me check something real quick here. 1 second. I believe I have some news to report real quick. Yeah, so I just wanted to double check and make sure. So VR Roundtable, speaking of VR Roundtable, no show tomorrow. There is no show for VR Roundtable tomorrow. So in show notes, normally this show on Sunday, it's Sunday Fun Day. It's the after party. It's where we just kind of kick back on a Sunday. And usually it's after VR Roundtable, and so it's just kind of a kickback thing. But tomorrow on Sunday, we will be at 11 a.m. Pacific time with this show. So 11 a.m. start time, no VR Roundtable tomorrow. So no show at 9 a.m. VR Roundtable will be back the following Sunday, I believe, at 9 a.m. Pacific, most likely. So 1 week delay on VR Roundtable. So just wanted to mention that. Okay. Greg's VR says Creed looks to hit the right spot with semi-arcade fighting. And Bed for You Too and GameCat says no Rocky for you. So, and then the Pimax 8K review that Andy Sky is checking in. Yeah, remember tomorrow, Pimax 8K review day. So anyway, yeah, there is this this Virtual Fighter Championship game. It looks just crazy hectic to me. But this might be a beautiful exercise game. That's my final take, basically, my final thought on that. And I do potentially have, like, I could actually try this, I think. But I just don't know that I'm excited to try it. Maybe if people start ranting and raving about it, I'll think about it. Okay, so one thing I do want to get into today is I want to get into Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. So this is being brought to us by the Martov Company. Now, this is a developer in, I believe, Montreal, Quebec, and they have a cast of voice actors that are doing all the characters in this game, Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. And it is a very colorful game. There's a lot of like pastel colors. This game is artistic, like straight up. Like it's artistic. It's almost like a play and like art, and it's like this slow exploring kind of a game. It reminds me of kind of like a point and click adventure type of a game. Very colorful. Some of this artwork might be a little bit more like the design and concept art. It doesn't look quite this good in VR, although that scene right there with the canoe and the river and the trees and everything is purple, it looks very, very much like that. And basically you have this little robot here, Boca, and he's a talking robot. It's a weird world that you're in. So this game was supposed to come out on September 13th. It came out a day later. It had some issues on Steam. People, it had some problems. So it came out a day later. It is $29.99. So it is not cheap. And, we were just talking about price. Now, $29.99 actually seems really, really cheap compared to Shadow of the Empire at $60. It's half the price. But $30 when you're on Steam, and when a lot of good VR games come out for around $20. A lot of good VR games are 25. There's a lot of VR games that are on sale for 15 and 10. There's always something that seems to be on sale. There always seems to be humble indie bundles. Somebody always seems to be having some sort of little sale. So $30 is a little bit on the harsh side. But this game is interesting. I don't know, like, I can't quite put my finger on this game. I don't really have a recommendation that I could give on this game quite yet. Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. Now, so I played this last night for a little while, and I played it earlier today for a little while. I've had 2 different gameplay sessions with it, and there's a lot that I do like about it, but I'm not far enough into it to like call it in any particular direction. I am. One thing I can mention about it that is a bit disappointing is its teleport. You have to teleport everywhere, so there is no smooth locomotion. However, if you do go into the options, it has a little checkbox for smooth locomotion, but then it says coming soon. So it is not available yet. So there is no smooth locomotion right now for Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. So you're exploring this interesting world, but you have to teleport everywhere. And that gets a little bit tiring after a while, just teleporting everywhere. The graphics are great. The graphics are colorful. The game reminds me, like, on a good note, I would say it reminds me of the first Gallery, and it reminds me of Zing: The Land Beyond. Kind of like if the first Gallery and Zing: The Land Beyond kind of got together, and then with all these like animal creatures that talk, robot things that talk. In some ways, it almost seems like this game was designed to appeal to, say, like a 12-year-old or something. It's kind of this magical, like it should be like a kids movie or something, but also appealing to adults as well. It's got a whole story, and it's got a voice, got voice talent. It's got a lot of stuff going on here. And this Martov company, like, let me bounce over to this website real quick. We're going to switch over to, this is the Martov company website, and this is their press kit page here. And you can see Chiaro and the Elixir of Life, and it is on the Vive. PSVR, it's on the Vive and the Rift, but it will be coming to PSVR later on down the line. These guys are based in Montreal, Quebec, and beautiful screenshots. Like this area right here, I have been on this river. I've seen these trees. It's beautiful. It's colorful. It really is beautiful and colorful. You can see that in all of these screenshots. Now, obviously, when we get our VR headsets on, it doesn't look quite, it's obviously there's going to be pixelization. You're going to notice screen door effect, all of those kinds of things. They got a couple of different trailers here. There's studio. And now the voice work is particularly well done. I've been playing a lot of games lately that have voice work, and I think the voice work here has been done pretty darn well. Okay, I don't know who Taylor Gray is, but he plays Chiaro, and I think he does a pretty damn good job with his voice. And then Jeff Kanata, ladies and gentlemen, is the voice of Janice in the game, and that's pretty cool. And then Martin Bradstreet is Boca and the Peanut Butter Pig. And you're dealing with Boca a lot, and you're dealing with Janice, and then you're hearing the voice of Chiaro a lot. I don't know how much I've heard their voices yet. I don't think I've really heard their voices yet too much. And there's probably a couple of other voiceovers as well. But yeah, this is Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. It is an interesting game. It's very artistic. It's very... it's kind of, it's a little bit artsy-fartsy. Let's see. So what people are talking about in chat over here. T-Dub says, thanks for the heads up, Anthony. Noah says he's getting back to California by later tomorrow. Oh, okay. He will be back in California. I got to figure out my interviewing system on here and get that figured out so that we can get Noah on the show, and maybe he can talk a little bit about some of his trip to Magic Leap and all of that. I'm sure a lot of it he can't talk about, but maybe some of it he can. Scion VR is checking in. What is going on, Scion? And Lunchbox Elrod is here. And Hussein X says, and puzzles in last level were also superb. I'm not sure what Hussein X is talking about. Are you talking about Chiaro and the Elixir of Life? Have you played this? Because I'm stuck right now. Like, I'm playing this game, but I'm stuck on this one section. Like, I've landed on that island there, and there's these different kind of like temples, and I have to figure out what to do. And it's kind of a point and click adventure game. You kind of have to pick things up, put things in different places, and solve different puzzles. And that's kind of like what Chiaro is like. But right now, if I had to give a recommendation for people on Chiaro and the Elixir of Life, I would probably say, I might hold on to my $30. I might hold on to my $30 just because the $30 can go other places. You know, the $30 can go other places. But if you're really, really into story and voiceover and production values, and you kind of want this artistic, surreal kind of a magical world. Again, remember the other day I was talking about we're going to be able to experience people's like weird dreams and their weird nightmares. And this game, Chiaro and the Elixir of Life, it's kind of like a weird dream, you know, it's a surreal world. It's kind of weird. It's kind of mystical. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, that is Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. All right. So let's see, what else do we have to get into besides that? Really, all I had was like Virtual Fighter Championship, Chiaro and the Elixir of Life, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Hey, we never did our intro, did we? Did we do our intro? Okay, here's the latest intro ever. Let's go ahead and do our intro just for the hell of it. Yes, this is the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. This is Daily Vlog Live, episode 202. It is Saturday, September 15th. So there you go. That is the latest intro we've ever done, I believe. Absolutely. Hussein X is talking about Zing. He says, it is superb. I completed it a few weeks ago. The final 5th level was the best. Yes, there are 5 levels, not 4. They saved the best till last. Yeah, Zing is just an awesome game. It really is. And I get a little bit of that Zing vibe from Chiaro. I also get a little bit of a gallery vibe as well. Okay, so today we don't have much going on. So what I'll do is let's go ahead. Well, we might as well check Upload VR, I suppose. Let's check probably the biggest VR gaming website that we have right now would be Upload VR. I think it's pretty much safe to say that. And basically what they have as their main stories of the week is they're talking about the biggest PSVR releases. They're talking about releases on the PC VR platforms for September. And they're talking about this Metal Slug coming to the arcades with the help of World War Tunes. So there's nothing breaking over there. Let's go ahead and double check Road to VR just to see anything popping off at Road to VR. And if my internet would hurry up. And so Road to VR, they are talking about Vox Machina. We are excited. We did see a new trailer. In fact, we can check that trailer out right now because the first time we saw that trailer, I think we only saw it like one time real quick, and then we had to bounce out of it because it was kind of late in the show when we found out about Vox Machina. Let me see if I can. Yeah, let's take a look at this Vox Machina trailer real quick.
Pilot a grinder, the ultimate destructive machine. Grab hold of the controls and stomp your way to victory online or against bots. Team up in explosive 16-player deathmatch and objective-based combat. Be the pilot. Customizable loadouts, incredible physics, and satisfying destruction. Vox Machina from Space Bullet on monitors and virtual reality early this fall.
Yeah, so Vox Machina, I mean, it does look pretty good, and they are saying early this fall. I got to imagine they're probably going to avoid this month. This month is just pretty heavy with a lot of releases constantly. So probably October or very early November, we could be looking at Vox Machina. So another big one to think about in the future there. Main Fan says he finished Zing and it was a tough last level. Oh yeah, the Go reactions from the party. Yeah, I can tell you guys about that. So I took my Oculus Go. Let me see. Do I have an Oculus Go trailer I can go to? Hold on a sec. Let's see. Let's see if I can find some type of Oculus Go trailer. Yeah, so I took my Oculus Go to the birthday party / like barbecue thing last night. And there's a lot of people there, a lot of family members. And I thought I'll put on the Oculus Go hands-on video. This I think was Engadget or something like that. So I took it to this birthday party last night. And, you know, it was kind of the hit of the party. It really was. Everybody wanted to get their hands on it. Everybody wanted to try it out. And I was kind of passing it off from person to person. And what I did is I put a lot of people in a Maze 3D with the girl that is dancing right there on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Just because the thing about that video is the clarity. I mean, it really looks, although this girl looks like she's 4.5 feet tall, so the scale is a little bit off, but it really looks like she's mere inches away from you, and that she is, the clarity, the focus is there. And so I showed a number of people of this, and they were like, oh my God. It depends whether it was a male or a female that saw this, the reactions, but it was very interesting either way. And then I also put a number of people into Drop Dead. I had a number of people play Drop Dead, and I also had a number of people play Coaster Combat. And so everybody, I put Netflix on. I was showing them Netflix, like just watching Netflix and all this stuff. And everybody was really, really amazed by it. And they were also amazed by the price, like 190. They were like, really? This is $200? It's $200? Like, people kept asking, you know, how much it was, and I explained to them, look, this is like an all-in-one thing, you know, so you just put it on and go. It works for about 2 hours. That's why they call it the Go. You put it on and go. But basically, a lot of people were into it, so, you know, it was really good. VR Spry Guy says, how many people said they were going to buy one? I would say probably like 3 or 4 different people were talking about possibly picking it up. You know, but I mean, it depends. It depends, because people will say that and then you don't really know. Chebby says, did anyone get queasy? I did have one person that got a little bit queasy, but they were queasy before they ever went into it. Remember how I said yesterday that people psych themselves out about VR motion sickness? Like, they worry about getting motion sick before they're ever in VR. I gave it to this one guy, and before he ever got in it, he was talking about, every time I do VR, it makes me feel queasy. It makes me feel queasy. And then, of course, he puts it on and it's like, yeah, it's making me feel queasy. It's like, okay. Let's see what else people are saying. T-Dub says, I can imagine the fellas loving it and their other halves not quite. Yeah, that pretty much what it was, T-Dub. There were like all the men, like, they were joking about it, you know, because I put them in Amaze 3D and I showed them a number of different things. There's this other Amaze 3D thing where this young lady is talking about all these different swimsuits and stuff. She's into fashion and stuff. And it's just, I'm not trying to isolate these sexist kind of like videos that are like going towards that lowest common denominator, but it just happens to be crystal clear. And I'm just trying to show these guys 180 crystal clear video. And so all the fellas that were at the party, basically, they were like, oh my God, look at this. And, you know, they're talking about, I could practically touch this. And, you know, they were doing different motions and like joking about it. Everybody was kind of joking about it. And then, yeah, some of the women tried it and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe this. You know, she's like wearing no clothes. And then some people were talking about, oh, look at all the people in the background that are watching this lady dance on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It was just funny. It was funny. And then some people tried the Netflix option. They try 360 photos. I also put it on the 360 photo app, and I had them click on various photos, and then I had them like turn all the way around and look at the photos everywhere. And then some people, when they were just in that main menu, when you're just in the main Oculus Go menu and it has your library and all of that, like just looking around that like 360 photo of like Utah or Arizona or whatever it is that you start off with in the Oculus, like people were just impressed by that. And they were like, oh, this controller is tracked. And so everybody really liked it. Main fan says there were little kids. Oh yeah, the people that were stopping and watching the chick. Yeah, that was kind of funny. And some of them, like there were some grandmas that were stopping and watching that girl dancing, and you could see they were like, oh my God, she's practically wearing no clothes. Oh my God. But yeah, there were little kids, all kinds of stuff like that. And a lot of, at this party that I was at, we had a couple people in their 70s that tried it, and they were like, wow. And then, other people were like 30s, 40s, early 50s, stuff like that. They all tried it. They really were quite blown away by it. And then I had a lot of like teenagers and younger kids trying it as well. And for a while there, I was slightly worried because they were just passing it around, and I'm like, I hope my Go doesn't get jacked up. But then I thought, wait a minute, this thing is only $200. I mean, if it got broken, would it be the absolute end of the world? That's the nice thing. It is a true mass market price. So it really is a nice, true mass market price. Oh, some people tried a Jurassic Park, the blue of Jurassic Park. Some people were really amazed by that. They're like, wow, you're moving. This one lady got up and she started walking when it was doing blue, the Jurassic Park. She like literally started walking, and I was like, oh shit, someone's going to get hurt here. I need to you got to really watch people when they get in VR, because you just don't know. Some people think, yeah, I can just get up and start running, and they don't realize what's going on. Lethal Weasel says, oh my God, Becky, look at her. Beep. Yeah, that's what some of the girls were saying when I showed them some of that content that was really crystal clear. But I tried to explain to them, look, I'm not going towards the lowest common denominator on purpose. It just happens to be super crystal clear. They asked, were there any videos with a guy that was dancing around like that? And I looked and tried to find, and the only thing I could find is there was a guy with a cobra snake, but that one was kind of blurry. And we were getting one of the problems that we did have actually though, is we were logged into the Wi-Fi that was here, and I didn't have these like videos downloaded. It would have been better quality, and the videos kept kind of pausing and skipping a little bit. And so that was kind of a little bit disappointing there, because people were like, oh, it stopped. I don't know, it stopped. And it was just buffering. And so I've kind of overfilled my Oculus Go with all these different games, a lot of them that we're seeing here on this screen right now. I've kind of overfilled it. And so I probably need to delete a couple of things off of there. And then the Amaze 3D, like that app, I believe you can actually download some of those videos and have them saved in a download form and then higher resolution. So yeah, it was kind of the hit of the party. It was a good thing. Everything worked out great with that. Okay, let's see here. So what was I on before we got onto the Oculus Go? Can't remember now. But basically, what we can do here is let's go back to this web browser here. Forget what I was talking about, but yeah, we have this Vox Machina that will be coming in the early fall. Of course, Transference, man, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, guys, we are going to be playing Transference. We're going to be playing Blind. There's some other stuff that comes out on the 18th as well. Well, I know Unearthing Mars, of course, comes out on PSVR, but apparently that appears to be a dud. And then also Downward Spiral, Aura Station, that comes out on PlayStation VR. And that's the first time PlayStation VR gamers are going to have a chance to play Downward Spiral Aorus Hours. So let's go ahead and see what's going on these subreddits, see if there's any late breaking news here. Oh, you know what? One of the big stories that is going on is the GeForce, the whole RTX 2080 Ti and the 2080. There are some benchmarks that are out, and this was a really hot topic. A lot of people were talking about this. Look at all these comments. I mean, just a tremendous number of comments, 306 comments. And they basically have this breakdown right here. This is in VR Mark Cyan Room. Okay, so on the highest end card, the GeForce RTX 2080 Ti, it was getting 135 frames. The RTX 2080 Standard Edition was getting 105, and then the 1080 Ti, 80 frames, and a regular 1080, 63 frames. So just imagine, you know, if you went from a GTX 1080 and you jumped all the way to a 2080 Ti, you are more than doubling your frames per second. But that's in this very, very specific benchmark that a lot of people believe is cherry picked. And so like the number one response here is NVIDIA is going to cherry pick the games that show the best results. Even then, TI versus TI average SDR is 42%. So here's a 44% improvement, a 13% improvement, and still waiting for legit third-party benchmarks. And then, you know, a lot of people are basically saying, look, it's not about the price. I mean, it's not about the performance of these cards. They're saying that the performance of the cards is up to par. The cards are providing decent performance here. It's not about that. What it's about is the price of these cards is just outrageous. So that's where a lot of the complaint is. But see, they have all these different benchmarks. You know, where is like a very specific VR benchmark? Okay, here's Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which just came out. And you can see 59 frames on a 2080 Ti. The 2080 is 47. You got a 1080 Ti, you're right there at 43. So, you know, the 1080 drops down to 32. This must be, okay, this is 4K. This is like with all the settings probably maxed out the ass. But here is the VR Mark Cyan Room. This is the quotes that people are talking about here. And we can see, you know, it is a major improvement. I mean, imagine if you're on a 1070, you're down here, and I'm on a 970, I'm way down here. A 970, I would get like 5 times the improvement or something crazy. So that is the benchmarks at VR Cards. VR Cards. Those are the benchmarks there. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what people are talking about here in chat. Let's see. Oh, they're talking about the 64 megabit looks better now in terms of, yeah, in terms of the size on the Oculus Go. Jim Hall says, I wish I got the 64 instead of 32. The thing is, this is what I kind of think in regards to the size. Yeah, right now it would be nice if I had a huge, gigantic storage on it, because then if you had a really gigantic storage, you're just downloading everything. You're not worrying about anything. But I believe that once kind of the honeymoon period is over, you're probably going to have some key things that you mostly screw around with. And so I think you're pretty much going to be fine with 32 gigs for a while. But yeah, I mean, see, the thing is, you're paying a lot more to double that up, but I would want to pay more for like 128 gigs or something. You really, like, they need to have a new option where it's not just doubling the memory, it's like quadrupling the memory of built in. And then I think that makes it a little bit more tempting. That would make it a little bit more tempting, in my opinion. Okay, so hold on a second here. I accidentally screwed up one of my windows here for my little web browser. So I'm going to go to the PSVR subreddit, and we haven't checked the PSVR subreddit in a minute, so let's go ahead and check that real quick. So hold on a sec, folks, here. All right, so this game makes my heart pound and hand shake at times. That seems to be the #1 post up here, and I believe this is a Firewall 0 hour I believe this is a fire. Yeah, it's Firewall Zero Hour. That's what they're talking about here. And it's that kind of game. I mean, Firewall Zero Hour, let me tell you, there's something about the immersion in Firewall Zero Hour. Oh man, this guy got his aim controller stolen. That sucks. Rest of the year looks really promising. So he's talking about some games that are coming up soon. Falcon Age. Oh yeah, an in-depth look at the making of Falcon Age. Falcon Age is another this is a PlayStation VR game that is going to be coming, I believe, a little bit later. Falcon Age reveal trailer. Yeah, an Anatomy of a Falcon a little bit. So this game looks kind of cool. I don't know what they're doing there. They're kind of showing how it can grip things like a ball or whatever. Yeah, so Falcon Age, this is a game I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it might be coming later this year, or maybe it's an early 2019 game. Let me see if I can find that Falcon Age trailer, because I'm almost positive we had it when that trailer came out. Let me look it up over here. One sec. Falcon Age. That's so weird, because I don't delete these trailers, and now I can't find them. Don't know where it is. But yeah, Falcon Age is something a few people were talking about here on the PSVR subreddit. And that's pretty much it. Not seeing really any major news here. But let's check Oculus real quick. And on the Oculus subreddit, they're talking about a free IMAX movie theater environment. They're talking about the benchmarks for the video cards at videocards.com. They're talking about the launch trailer for Virtua Fighting Championship, which we already checked that out. Meta World. Does Meta World exist? That is a question. I don't know. Some people talking about, is Meta World just a complete and utter scam? What is going on with Meta World? And then, of course, there is this public service announcement. You can grab the Wizards on Steam weekend deal, and you also get a free Oculus Store key. Some people are talking about that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the Space Junkies beta, that's coming up on September 26th. So not much news on the docket today. So let's go ahead and head back to chat. So T-Dub says, could a CV1 make use of the 2080 Ti power apart from a little super sampling? Yeah, I mean, well, just games would probably just run really, really, really well. And so if you got a 2080 Ti, you're going to expect every game to run damn near perfect. That's probably what you're expecting, right? Paul Smith says, I've got a 1080. He's ordered a 2080. He couldn't justify the Ti. I mean, it's a big price difference. You go from that 2080 to the Ti. Isn't the 2080 like around 800-ish? And the Ti is like $1,350? I mean, that's another $550. Skiva007 says they are really screwing people on the prices of the new cards. There's really no justifying a $1,200 video card. And a lot of the video cards I've seen, they're $1,350. It's $1,350 on a lot of them. Scion VR says, might not want to show them the Amaze videos. No wife approval equals no Oculus Go purchase. Yeah, I mean, there is that factor. But I didn't want to put all the women into some of those Amaze videos that were like that. But I just wanted to try to show them a 180-degree video and the clarity. Like, that's really what I'm trying to show them. Like, if they had something where it showed like an elephant or something, or a giraffe, and it was like super clear, I would show them that. But the stuff that I've seen that looks super clear happens to be like some young lady dancing around in a bathing suit. That's the stuff that happened to look super clear to me. So that's why I showed them that. Jim Hall says the 2080 Ti more powerful than the Titan 5 at 3K. And Phil Yarn says, so the question is, will Anthony, a.k.a. Muscles, be playing Space Junkies on September 26th? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to, I got to figure out what I got to do to get into the closed beta, but I would like to try it. I would like to try it. Andy Sky says, I'll wait till the 2080 Ti on Black Friday sale for $300. Yeah, you're going to be waiting for probably about 7 years if you're waiting for that. And then Chris says 2080 Ti is $1,700 with tax. Where he is at. Is that Canada? Is it Canada? Phil Yarn says that's a ridiculous price. And yeah, you know, it is harsh. These cards are not for the faint of heart. These cards are quite pricey. They are definitely on the pricey side. Okay, so let's see, what else can we possibly get into here? It's 12:51. We've been going for about 51 minutes here. I'm going to put on a young Jason Rubin. There is a young, hip Jason Rubin from back in the days. And Miss Shuck, please say hi to my partner who watches you religiously every morning. What is up, whoever that is? How are you doing, Miss Shuck? Kevin Mars says, is there even a game that min specs a 1080 card? Well, I'll tell you what, there are certain games like LA Noire that don't seem to run very good on my PC. And a lot of it is really super sampling and such. I believe a lot of it is really super sampling. But anyways, let's see here. There's just not much news today, guys. I don't know what we can get into now. We've pretty much covered everything. And heading back over here to the subreddits, you know, they're talking about the same old stuff. Meta World, replacement headphones for Rift, and not much else, you know. Not much else is going on. Echo VR unplayable. Not sure what the problem is there. Oh, you know, I did hear about this where somebody sent a 360 camera into space and they made a hyperlapse video of the journey. Supposed to look incredible on Oculus. And the #1 response was, with that kind of shake and wobble, I don't think I'll be putting this one into VR. And the #1 reply says, it's a little disorienting at first, but believe me, it is worth it. We've been taking turns checking it out in the office. And that is this 360 VR hyperlapse to space video. Have not checked that out, but it might be kind of cool, although it could cause a bit of motion sickness. You know, let's take a look at the Magic Leap subreddit, actually. Why don't we take a quick look at the Magic Leap subreddit? I haven't checked out the Magic Leap subreddit in some time. Noah should be having a good day in Florida today. Let's click on that one. Yeah, so there's a lot of Noah. Ah, look at this. That is, what's her name? Do It for Noah. That is Shanna De Lillis. Yeah, do you guys remember that one time I had that Magic Leap special? This was the Magic Leap lady, you know, that had her hairstyle in a certain way, and she was wearing her Magic Leap goggles and putting the Magic Leap in her pocket and all that stuff. That's so cool. Look at that. Noah was a star. Noah is a star for Magic Leap. That is so awesome. Hanging out with Noah. Yeah, this is cool. Look at that. Noah's kicking it right there. And yeah, so those guys are kicking it with Magic Leap. I got my own Do It for Noah button. So Noah got his own button. Do It for Noah. That is so freaking cool. That is so cool. Noah, man, this guy is living a dream. Look, it looks like he got a Magic Leap sweatshirt and all kinds of stuff. Noah got hooked the hell up. Noah is living the dream. He was at Willy Wonka Central. That is so cool. Super cool. Magic Leap Enter Street Sign. Let's click on this one. This is posted by Noah. Oh, there it is. Magic Leap. Oh, that's the actual street sign where he is. See, Plantation Crossroads. Plantation, Florida, baby. That's Noah living the dream. So let's go back over here to chat. Paul Smith says, hi, Noah. Yeah, Noah was there, man. Noah was living the dream. That was so cool. Main Fan says, when you super sample, you're doing 4K and higher. Greg's VR says, I guess it pays to shill in sarcasm. I mean, you know, Noah, hey, he was the man on the Magic Leap subreddit. Like, he was the #1 fan on Magic Leap. And, you know, he got rewarded for his fandom. I mean, there's no problem with that. You know, give the guys some love. But yeah, that is what's going on the Magic Leap subreddit. So that's really cool. Alrighty. Well, anyway, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. Just not a lot going on today. We'll, of course, have our episode tomorrow. Once again, Sunday is Sunday Fun Day. It's the after party. Well, it normally is the after party. But we're going to be starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. That will be the time of our show. Of course, this has been the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, all that type of stuff. And I absolutely will be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Paul Smith says, number 2 fan was you, Anthony. Well, you know, I was a fan of Magic Leap. I don't know if I'd put myself as the number 2 fan, but I was rooting for them. Absolutely. No question about it. But yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. See you then. Take it easy. Later.